Hi guys, today's video is a very long and very detailed video about NEZ magazine. Do you know about this? So I'm speaking with Dominique Brunel of the magazine. He's one of the founders of this magazine, and we go really into detail, well, at least he does. I ask him a few questions and he elaborates very detail of how the magazine got started and all their publications, including these awesome publications about various notes, amazing books that they've launched, all about perfumes. I really love the magazines, and I also love the publications and the books. Really informative and also very easy to read. They are French, but some of them, or a lot of them, are in English as well. So sit back. It's very long, it's very detailed, and learn all about NEZ and their publications. And stick around till the end. We do have a giveaway of some of the books I just showed you. So if you want to find out about NEZ, then please stay tuned. Hey guys, I'm here with Dominique Brunel from NEZ Magazine. He's one of the founders of NEZ Publications. We did an Instagram Live about 3 months ago, and we decided to do one for YouTube as well. So today I'm discussing with Dominique the company and how it got started. So Dominique, tell me.
So hi,
how
everyone.
You doing first?
Yeah, fine. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me again. So already 3 months. I forgot it was maybe 3 months when you published the video.
Yeah.
From today, I'm not sure. I'm one of the co-founder of NEZ. So NEZ that we like now to call the olfactory cultural movement. Because first of all, we've been known, and still now, we've often known as NEZ, the olfactory magazine, and then we had NEZ Editions, so NEZ Publishing, but also we have several activities and that are much, in a way, broader and larger than just the magazine, but actually this is quite funny because lots of people sometimes when we publish another book they say, oh, it's a special edition of NEZ magazine. Mm-hmm. Actually, no, it's just another book by NEZ Publishing, so NEZ Edition in French. And okay, so these are just my brand story. So NEZ exists as a magazine. The first thing we've done as a printed publication was NEZ in 2016, and in French first, and then we decided to publish it in English from the third issue. So very often I've been asked if we would if we later will translate the first two editions. So for the moment, actually, we can't really afford it because it's quite expensive. We would have to translate and to print, so that's a lot of money. So for the moment, we have 12 editions in French, and so 10 in English. So this is the 11th one.
This is the latest.
Yes, the latest now, and the newest will be the number 12 in December. Mm-hmm. Which I can't really talk about the topic yet because I haven't read it actually, but the main dossier is about perfume and design. So This is the idea. So you'll discover it when it's available. So the French one is always available a little bit earlier. So it will be in November, beginning of November, and a few weeks later, it's available in English.
I'll ask you some questions. How's that?
Yeah. Of course.
So were you always a perfume lover, or is this something that you fell into that you somehow, took off with, the magazines and then the publications later, the books?
Yeah. As I often said, everything is about misunderstandings. So actually, it was 14 years ago when Jeanne Doré the chief editor of NEZ. So she was a friend of mine, and she told me she wanted to write about perfume. And it was in the 2000 years when everything happened.
Blogging?
At the beginning, the same.
Yeah.
We launched so she told me she wanted to write about perfume, and then with her and a friend, a developer, a web developer, we've launched the website Au Parfum, and it was in 2007. The same year Fragrantica was launched.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Fragrantica also was in 2007. I think Fragrantica was a little bit earlier, but it was at the same period. At that time, you had also blogs in France, but not only in France. This is really the moment, maybe at the same time where the niche perfumery exploded or began to.
Started.
Because I think the explosion was a little bit later. But this is the time where more and more people launched their brands, and at the same time where people wanted to read and write and read interesting stuff about perfume that weren't only advertisement or articles you found in magazines, which were actually, as a matter of fact, advertisement also, mainly, not only, but mainly. So we wanted to have this other way of, dealing with perfume as an olfactory production, as a cultural production, and not just as olfactory and not just as a cosmetics and beauty product. And so that's why we began to write reviews. So actually, Jeanne began to write reviews about perfumes. It lasted 7 years, but that was more as a hobby for us. So between 2007 and 2014, we had no involvement with the industry. So I knew no one in the industry. I've just took my phone and called the press desk and said, "Can you send us perfumes so that we can write reviews?" And I said, "Be careful. We are going to say what we think about it. Really, we are not journalists." So nice. we may have an opinion that may not pleases you.
Everyone, yeah.
So that's the way we presented it, and then I think they didn't really understand that at the time. So they sent the perfumes, and so nice. So Jeanne wrote about it, and more people came to read the reviews, and some of them, they were really eager, to share about perfumes. And at that time there were no Facebook. So 2007 is also the launch of Facebook, no Instagram, obviously, because this is prehistory. And so when they found Au Parfum, for instance, or other blogs, so they stayed there, they discussed on the forum, and some of them became writers also for the website. So it began to grow a little bit. That wasn't just one person writing anymore, but several persons. And all of that, as I said, between 2007 and 2014, that was the long beginning.
I see.
At that time, yes, it was really just a hobby,
So then you were a perfume lover, or you were not, or you grew into it?
No, I wasn't. I had no idea. I was the kind of guy going to Sephora and buying what the how do you say the
latest?
Or the people wanted to sell, because they have incentives and they have to sell something, and specific perfume. So I was the kind of guy. Oh, it's like it smells like citrus, or it's good on you. You should buy it, and say, okay, I buy it. so and that for years it stayed like that. So my interest here was to have this media growing. As a media, that was my interest. And to grow the community, and so I found it was fun. And for Jeanne, it was to write and to provide people with relevant information. That was not only about only reviews. We had also articles, dossier, for instance, about niche perfumery or perfumery in the States, in Italy, Spain. So we wanted to give a broader. Already at that time, we wanted to give a broader view of what perfume can be.
Nice. So is the blog still available, or is it?
Yeah, still, we are still, actually now we still have this one in French only. And also at the same time, we have the website of NE, which is more like a magazine with original content. This is for the time being, so we have to reshape it. But for the time being, it's original content that is not from NE. Sometimes we have some contents from from other books. For instance, in the big book of Perfume, we had interviews in it in the second edition. So we've decided to publish. Yes, and we have some interviews in it, and then we publish them in on the website. And the website of NE is in French and in English. This is the difference with Au Parfum, which is still and will stay in French. So your question was, sorry, I forgot. Yeah, Au Parfum still exists. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. So then, when did you, or how did you come up with the name NE? Who decided that was the right name to use?
So at the beginning, so when so first we were just two people, I and Jane, I don't know how you pronounce it, and then randomly, I could say, I met a third person whose name is Mathieu Chevara. So he runs a design agency, and at that time he ran also. So it was in 2015, 6 years ago. And at that time, he ran a small publishing house, which then, after a few years, became NEZ Edition, so NEZ Publishing. So it was already existing, but it was not specialized in anything. And then when we met, totally randomly, actually, I received an emailing from his company. I don't know exactly why. Actually, if you want the whole story, I knew his brother of Mathieu, but I received this and I thought it was his brother. And I said, "How are you?" And he said, "I don't know you." and then we had a phone call and we began to speak. And I said, "We are looking someone to redesign Au Parfum, the website, the logo and all." And then I talked about the idea of doing a magazine. And then he said, "Okay, come and see me." So I took a bag. I went and paid him a visit at his office. And then we talked for an hour or two, I don't know. And as we were talking, he drew the logo NE,
Oh, wow.
So that's how it came out. Yeah, it was, and I was looking at him and I said, "That's really a bad name, so I don't like it." NE. So I didn't like it. But he was right, actually, and I was wrong. And then I went out from this strange meeting and I called Jean and I said, "I think we are going to work with him." And that's how it began, just in an afternoon, just because I received a spam. And that's how it began. But it was it was funny. And then, so it was in July, maybe 2015. And then we launched the magazine in April 2016. So we saw everyone, the people writing with us at Au Parfum on the website, and we said, "We want to launch a magazine. So do you want to work with us?" And the first edition, we won't pay you for the first issue because we have no idea if there will be another one. If there is a second edition, we promise we will pay you. Not much, but we will pay you. But now, so it's for free. So actually, they were writing for free for years on the website, And they were so happy because they were waiting. So they were about to write for NE, which didn't exist yet, but they were the first readers because they were the first people who wanted to have it. So they say, "Okay, we're so happy. We can work for free." And then we went to see other people, not just these perfume lovers that we met online, but also people working. So historian, I knew, for instance, Eugénie Briot. She's an historian working at Givaudan.
Oh.
And then I know her and more or less knew her. So we've had some contact already. And I called her and I said, "Do you want to write for our magazine?" And she said, "Okay." She was totally pregnant. She had 3 weeks to write she had 3 weeks left to be able. And she said, okay. And then she wrote one of the first article in NE, and we went to see journalists. And once I was at a conference and I saw a researcher from the CNRS in French, the National Research Center in France. And so I came and saw him, and I said, do you want to work with us? And he said, okay. And he's the one who, for instance, did this for us, this kind of thing.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's nice.
So and also we had someone, Olivier Pierre David, who was working at ISIPCA. So at the university, he's working for the chemistry, is in charge of the chemistry department there. And so, but we met him because he was a perfume lover also. And we said, do you want to work with us? So he write all the more scientific articles about molecules, chemistry and all. So we try to gather as many people passionate about perfumes and olfaction. And with them, we built this, what we call the NE Collective. These are these people who always who wrote in every issue of NE since the beginning, almost. So we have this core,
team.
Core team, yes, thank you, of writers. And sometimes guests. Sometimes when we receive proposals of articles, sometimes we say, so we accept and we add.
Who sends you the proposals?
Well, it depends. We have regular, also, even today I've received from perfume lovers, scientific people who are working on a specific topic, but we are not like a nature, So it's not that just because it's interesting, maybe we may publish it or not, depending on if it fits. Yeah, what we want to say at that particular time, So sometimes it's complicated because the person, these writers, they propose things that are interesting, but we maybe have not enough room and space to welcome them. So now that we have the website, for instance, in English, so sometimes you say, okay, it's in a magazine, it's not possible, but you can write on the website, and as it's in French and English, so maybe it gives a larger audience. So the first question was about NE, so that's how NE came. And just because we haven't shown NE, where is NE? I should have one here. Yeah, here.
You have a whole wall of them there.
Yeah, but there are so many books. We have the same, And
I have the English.
Yeah, exactly. And this is French. But you can't. So now we have added this. It's so you have FR or EN. But at the beginning, it's FR here. But at the beginning, we didn't have that. So sometimes it was quite complicated when you were selling to people and you didn't know what book to take. So it was a little bit complicated. That's what we added this to be sure not to make any mistake. And this is so the font has been created by Mathieu and his team. And it's called, the name of the font is NE. So it's a bespoke font that has been created for us. And it creates the identity of the brand, because you can see we always have that on the more generally it's centered here, not for the LMR because it's not for this one because we have chosen something else yet, but the Plante à l'essence also. So this is really the identity of NE. This is the main sign that allows people to recognize what we
Definitely
do.
Stands out. Yeah. So you launched in 2016 with your first periodical, and it was in French, and then you did 2, 3, and then finally on the 4th you started translating.
3 on the 3.
On the 3rd.
3 is in English. Yes.
Okay.
And it's every 6 months. So it's
twice a year.
Biannual, yes, twice a year, every 6 months. Actually, we publish NEZ every 6 months, and we publish this one. I can talk about this one also every 6 months also, but we publish them in French and English, and we publish 2 issues every 6 months. Every 6 months.
Ooh, that's nice.
And these are the next one. So
those are the new ones, yeah.
Yeah. The new one about lavender and tuberose. So here we have a partnership here with, as you can see here, it's NEZ plus LMR. Okay. LMR, it's a brand for natural ingredients at IFF. So this big fragrance house, American fragrance house. Because you had LMR, it meant, at the beginning, it meant Laboratoire Monique Rémy. And Monique Rémy was a woman from Paris, but then she went to Grasse and she built all this. She created this company, LMR. And thanks to her, mostly, she wanted to do the ingredients coming from Grasse to be of a higher quality, because maybe in the 80s it was not so good as it can be now, and so she wanted really to have high-end products, and she succeeded in creating this company and creating this really a very image de marque, brand image, as we say. So very, that LMR was synonym of really good quality in France, so in Grasse, but also now it's really the brand for IFF, who bought the company for the whole world.
I see.
Everywhere where there's the source, the raw material, it's branded LMR, and then they had these books earlier. They have a whole collection, a whole range of books dedicated to these raw materials, but it was only for an internal use for employees and partners and customers to show their know-how in the production and in providing this raw material. And then they asked us if they wanted to reshape and redesign the whole collection, and they asked us if we wanted to be part of it. And we've proposed, actually, Mathieu, the one who drew this, proposed to IFF that to have a broader approach, just not focused on LMR know-how, but just meant to have a real cultural, olfactory and cultural object and book that would embrace the plant, but it's all its facets and all as its culture, its representation in arts, its connection with other, maybe with food and or with art and. So I don't really know this one because it just arrived. But here, for instance, you have an article about a beekeeper, you see? So it's not, even if it's called lavender in perfumery, you could say it's lavender in general, with obviously a focus on perfumery. For instance, if you want, you have general information about the plant, you see? Like
nice. This. That's awesome. I love these books.
Yeah, we always have a lot of illustration in every book. So here we have this you can call that chemistry symbols, sign representations of the molecules, and also where it's grown. And, nice. And also, so it's a really 360 degrees. And about this plant. So here again with the distillation and also the harvesting, up factory and all, and also we have interviews here with the perfumer Jean-Jacques, who is now the perfumer of Caron.
Caron, yeah,
and also with Carlos Benaim here. So with interview of perfumers who have a special connection specifically with this plant because maybe they have created a very known perfume related here to lavender. So and we have this that we do also in NEZ, this kind of genealogy.
I love these. Yeah. This is perfect.
We should have poster of this because I think people would love to have.
I would love one, yeah.
Yeah. So it's lavender in fragrances on a chronological point of view and approach. And this is also what we do in NEZ. Sometimes we've made one with Chypre from François Coty. So you have Chypre, and we want to show how perfume is in history, and that the perfume that we discover that are created now have are a kind of heritage of the past. And so we want to make a link between what we've created now, because when you see an advertisement, you say, I don't know, Dolce & Gabbana, the new perfume, as if it was the first of, and as if before you had nothing, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But always a brand, an innovation, almost. Oh, we've done a perfume, so that's the perfume. So there is only one, you know. But no, you have here. You can see there is a whole genealogy, a whole history, and also this is really a big part of what we are trying to do here. So this is about LML. We have 12 issues, 12 books,
and those two are the latest. Lavender and Tuberose are the latest.
Yeah, and Tuberose, Lavender.
These two were the previous.
Yes, and before we had this and this one and Jasmine, a lot. So, but I think that we don't have the whole list yet, but at least we will have at least maybe about 20. So I don't.
So do the books? Do those also break down the different varieties of the ingredient? Let's say for lavender, I'm sure there's multiple different varieties. Does it explain this?
So it depends. Usually it's. So I won't say any mistake because actually I haven't really read it. This one. Usually it's more focused on one. For instance, for Jasmine, it was Jasmine. It was Sambac.
Sambac, yeah.
Okay. But so I won't. I'm not sure. I think it depends. I prefer to stay
neutral,
cautious,
Yeah. No worries. So, how many other languages do the books and magazines and periodicals come in?
So the magazine. So the magazine we do it in French and English, and we also did it in Italian. From 7, maybe 6 or 7 issues in Italian. Now we are a little bit slower on the Italian part. So this year we have published only 1 issue, and so next year it should be the same. So because it's not so easy, to sell. Actually, we are doing nice books, but you have to sell them afterwards.
Yeah, exactly.
And so English is very important for us as to be present everywhere and to be really, in the game of the industry. Because if we were only in French, that wouldn't be sufficient to be noticed. And that's why we decided very soon to be also in English, even if at that time we had no distribution for the English. So I should take a step back, but as a publisher, we are French publisher, and we publish, and our books are distributed in bookshops, but only in France. And then if we want them to be distributed in other countries, we have to find another publisher in the US, in Spain, in Italy, and to sell the rights of the book so that they can translate it and distribute it and promote it in their own country. On the other hand, for NEZ, it's too niche and it's every 6 months. So you can't ask a German publisher to publish NEZ every 6 months. That's too much work, and you would lose money. So that's why when we wanted to have another language with this, we've done it by ourselves. But then the English one, we can't sell it in bookshops in the US because we are not a US publisher.
Publisher.
So we are not. We should maybe create a company dedicated to that in the US, but it would be so much work to work with the distributors and the bookshops and all, and do the promotion. So we can't afford that. But still, we do it in English because we have a direct connection with the industry, when the perfume lovers everywhere in the world, and also, as you know, we have a distributor now in the US. François Duquesne is a US, so French, but fragrance distributor, niche fragrance distributor.
Mm-hmm.
So he works with the perfume shops. That's why you can find NEZ in English in perfume shops in the US. And also he has, so maybe we will indicate the link on the YouTube page, but he also runs for us a website, an e-shop in the US, where he sells every book we publish in French or in English.
Okay.
And so these are why we publish usually we publish only in French, because this is how the publishing industry works. But when we do this, as we work with IFF, we are able, because they are financing a big part of the book, so we are able to publish it in English. And obviously IFF, which is a US company and who has an international reach, want to have it in English. So that's why we did that. We had the two languages. And also the books we shown at this one, the Plante à l'essence, is written in French, but so we've chosen these words because anyone, so even in English, you can understand them. Actually the book is bilingual, so it's in French and in English. You can see here, because it's also, I've written a world tour of fragrance raw materials. And here we did
book.
That's very beautiful book. This is a book we've done with professional trade fair in France, called the Saint-Par. It's international trade show for raw material for perfumery. And it's organized on behalf of the SFP, which is the French Perfumers Society. And so they organize this every 2 years. They organize this gathering of raw material producers. They can show their production, new molecules, new ingredients, and to commemorate and to celebrate the 30th anniversary, we've decided together to create this book. We talk about 30 raw ingredients.
Nice.
For natural and synthetics. And so that's why we did it in bilingual, because the salon, this trade show, has an international reach, and we have, I think, 23 companies working with us in these books. For instance, here we did encens and incense with Payan Bertrand, which is a French company from Grasse here. But as you may see, we have done bergamot with Capua from Calabria. We have done also what is this? Cistus labdanum with Albert Vieille. It's a French company from Grasse that now belongs to Givaudan. And so each time we, for instance, here we have tubereuse again with IFF. So you have the drawing here, and then a presentation of more here data inside about the plant. And here, this is more a reportage and information, and so like a reportage about how specifically IFF LMR works with tuberose. And also 3 perfumes. Also here is an interview here with a perfumer. Yes, an IFF perfumer. And here a selection that we've done. So these are not perfumes by IFF, but perfume that contain tuberose.
So do you go through a list of fragrances, and how do you select the 3 that you feature?
Totally, as a dictatorship, it's not It's no, that's a common work from between I think Jeanne and Clara Müller, who wrote or translated, who wrote most of the Clara Müller. She's one of her writers, and she wrote most of these reviews. So this is why this book was also in English, and so we have some books in English, but sometimes bilingual. We have this. Sorry, I can't see. I see it's here. Here also because we work with a museum in Lausanne in Switzerland. About
I don't know this book.
Sorry,
I don't know this book.
It's in on our website and also on Lucicent. So it was. I'm not sure they still have stock, but and it was. So the title is only in French, but so sometimes you make mistakes. Because it's bilingual. So if you're from the US, you see that, you see, okay, I won't understand what's in it, but it's bilingual. And it was connected to exhibition that took place 2 years ago in Lausanne at the MUDAG Design Museum. And we collaborate as to organize the exhibition. Especially, and this exhibition is called Perfumers, Smell and Feel, Perfumers, Scents and Emotions. And so it was very original exhibition that it was dedicated to the work of 12 or 13, I'm not sure anymore, perfumers. And among them, Maurice Roussel, Claude Elena, Alberto Morillas, Rodrigo Flores Roux. So the really dedicated to the perfume as artwork. Okay. So we worked with them, and then we did the book. We worked with them for the exhibition itself. We create the whole identity of the exhibition. All the posters, and this was the identity of this exhibition and the book, bilingual.
Nice. Okay.
And so these are some of the books, but I think that's all that are also in English. And as I said, when you work in the
have this.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you.
But you also have a Jean-Claude Elena only in French in this series.
Yeah. Because for Jean-Claude Elena, we did it on a usual way, so we did this French edition. And here again, actually we did it in French, and then totally not connected to IFF because Dominique Ropion is working at IFF.
IFF, yeah.
But then we talked with IFF and we wanted to work together on the promotion of the book. And so IFF said, okay, but maybe we'd like to have it also in English because it's interesting for us. So thanks to them, we were able to translate it in English.
Nice.
And the next one will be in this collection, but so maybe also in English. So, yeah, it should be also in English with Mathilde Laurent from Cartier.
Oh, wow.
Next year.
I like her.
Yeah. We like her too. That's why we have her in the collection.
Yeah,
and it should be, if I'm not mistaken, I think in March.
Oh wow!
I think something like that. February, March, something like that. So in this collection that is called NEZ Literature.
I see.
So it will be the third book in this collection. So Jean-Claude Elena, Dominique Ropion, and Mathilde Laurent.
Nice.
And then we have about translation. We've sold this book. We've sold the right of this book. It has been published last week. So,
oh wow!
In October in German.
Okay.
And it will be available in 2022 in Spanish, in Italian, in Chinese. Wow. Chinese maybe before, maybe this year in Chinese, and also in I never know how to say that, Lithuania. No, not Lithuania. Latvia.
Latvian. Wow.
Yeah. So we are very happy with that. So I hope there will be other languages. Maybe we should have Russian, would be nice, and Arabic also. But for the time being, this is the book that is the the easiest for us to sell abroad, because it's some of our books are very, very niche in a way. We design them so that anyone can read them, even if you're not a professional.
They're easy to read.
Even if you're not an expert. And we try to make them as accessible as possible. But at the same time, as you know very well, perfume, and so perfume plus books. So that is very niche, So you can't reach everyone. So this is why this is not so easy to sell the rights to a publisher abroad, because they have to think, okay, where will I be able to sell it in my country? And if I can imagine the people looking at these videos, in Italy, in Germany, say, I would buy it, but you need hundreds and hundreds of people to buy this book, so that the publisher can make some money with it.
Yeah. Exactly.
But with this one, it's like I usually say, it's like perfume for dummies. So it doesn't exist anywhere. So. Lots of publishers can imagine that it will fit one of their collection, and that they will be able to sell it because it's general. It has general enough, and at the same time, for instance, every in the schools in French perfume schools, they recommend that for every newcomer, every new student.
Oh wow.
And even when they do this, open days, when the people come to see if they really want to do that as a profession, and if they want to go to the school, perfume school, usually they recommend that. I've worked there once, and we were selling books, and I said, you should read that, and now you will know what a perfumer does. At least you will have a better idea, because usually people have no idea really what the perfume industry is and what a perfumer really does.
Yeah.
They always have this, the perfume, the perfume in mind. And that's not really the real reality.
Exactly.
What they do every day. So this book, if we talk about this book, because I think that this is really the main.
It's a great book.
The more no, as itself, the more interesting, but the thing that if you want to know more about perfume, you can read that, and you'll have a general knowledge, basic at least, but about almost every aspect of the industry, about distribution, distillation, raw materials, naturals and synthetics, independent perfumery, mainstream perfumery, consumer, you have consumer testing, and also something very interesting. This is, we always talk about the perfumer, but you have in the fragrance houses, for instance, like IFF, for instance, but in every fragrance houses, you have this about here, what we call this crack team, perfumer, evaluator, and account manager, sales people, especially in the mainstream industry. But not only, but when it's not an independent perfumer, you always have the perfumer, the evaluator, who will work with the perfumer. It's not a perfume assistant, but someone who knows the market. If, for instance, if the company gives a brief to a fragrance house, and then the perfumer will work on the brief, but the evaluator will help him doing something that fits the market, for instance, China or France or Germany. So sometimes people think that the perfumer works alone, alone like a sorcerer or some sort. But no, it works. And the evaluator is very important. And at the same time, the salespeople are in connection with the clients, and so they have to understand their needs, and also to be sure that it will enter and fit the budget. Because when the perfumer gets a brief, usually is told or she is told, you can't be more expensive than X some amount of dollars or euro per kilos, etc. So this is the kind of thing that no one knows really. and that we wanted to show here, but in every book that we publish.
Yeah. Who does the amazing cartoons, drawings in these books? Because they make reading the book so much more fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I love them.
It depends here in NEZ. So here it's a guy called Jérémy Perraudot, but actually he's a freelancer. So he's an illustrator working as a freelancer. And you have actually, as I said, we have in NEZ we have Mathieu, who runs this design agency. There are about 20 people, and there sometimes the art director Clément sometimes does some of the drawing, but some of the illustrations. But usually they sourced illustrators, and so each time we publish a book, we have this discussion: what will be the content, but also who will we choose as an illustrator. And so we check all the different styles they have. So the Mathieu's team has in stock, all the different people they are working with, and trying to identify who will be the more suitable and the more relevant illustrator for every book. So it's changed. So for some in NEZ, for instance, you have some chapters where you always have the same person. For instance, here his name is this is the writer here. I forgot the name of the. Here we have a section called Odorama. It is more about the scientific part. So actually, I wasn't sure, but it's Jérémy Perraudot. That's the same guy again. So it does every time this section here. So this is the same guy as in the big book of perfume here. For instance, here it's totally different. So this is here. We have this main dossier. In each time you have this main dossier. Here it's about the life and death. So life and death. Sorry, and we've chosen. So the art direction. They chose another illustrator called Lisa Mouchet, and so you have these very, very nice illustrations. But it changes every time. Every time. I can show another one here. Here it's about the links and the connection between smell and taste. Taste, as you can imagine here. And here, totally different style.
That's true.
Yeah, and
they kind of look similar, but they're different. Yes, they have a trademark.
Because they are. Maybe you said that because they are very colorful. But
those
the
are
style, the style is very different. And there is something. The one I really like, and this one, the first one in English was this one. It's called the sex, le sexe des parfums, the sex of scent in English.
Oh, okay.
And you'll see this one is totally different. You see?
Oh yeah.
Now this one, and here also is about the chemistry of attraction. I think it was translated that way. It was so each time it's very, very different, and also at the end we have an article about the market of perfume. Here it was. What was it? It was reviews. Do reviews and awards have an influence on the sales, perfume sales, and it was by Eddie Bolicki, and you see, so it was the illustration totally different again in the same issue. Very different. So we are lucky enough to have very talented illustrators and also a very talented art direction. So they know who to choose.
Yeah. So then the big book of perfume, written by Jean Doré or multiple writers, it's just
edited by her. Edited, as it's written here. So usually, actually, as a matter of fact, she doesn't really have time to write because she has to coordinate everyone.
Oh, wow.
And several books at the same time in French, in English. And so we have lots of intervenants. You know, when you write a book, she has to give the brief to the journalist. Then the journalist has to, or the author, and he or she has to write the article. And then she has to correct and to edit this article. And then it goes to a proofreader. Okay. And then sometimes it goes to when we translate, to a translator, and then to an English proofreader again. And then it goes into, so it's only in a Google Doc, you see? And, and then it goes in the, how do you say that? We said maquette in French, in the layout, you see? So in design. Mm-hmm. So the graphic designer put all the text and the content within design, so in the file for the book, and then she has to correct it again because you have to check if everything is okay. And so for the moment,
she's busy.
Yeah. So that's several books at the same time. So that's why. And usually you have the writers, you have them in the end of the book, and they are, as I said at the beginning, the NEZ collective, almost always the same people. So almost.
Yeah.
And you have all these, you know, some of them contributors here.
Nice.
So feel free to check. Yeah, your question was okay. Who's writing that? Yes.
Yeah.
Usually it's quite. Until now, we've never had a book with only one writer. So yes, the Dominique Ropion. But Dominique Ropion, he wrote with a journalist together. She's not on the cover, but she's credited inside. You have her name, and she's called Marie-Bénédicte Gauthier. Jean-Claude Helena wrote it by himself.
Okay.
But in general, it's always several authors. We had a book called so only in French, 111 perfumes you have to try before you die. And here you had only 3 people, but actually there were no, it's not even written here. But we had 3 people, and mainly 3 people. But actually some more, just not 3, but 3 main authors. And the first book with only one author will come out next year, and it's a compilation of articles published between all along the first 11 issue of issues of NEZ, in a section called Flashback. And Flashback is a section dedicated to history of perfume. And in every NEZ, you had an article about a decade of the perfume history of the contemporary and modern era of perfume. So since about 1880. 1880. And then 10 years each time. So 11 articles, and each time a decade. And then we have decided to gather them. We will, in a book called Une histoire de parfum. It could be translated a story, a perfume's story.
The history of perfume.
Yeah. There is a subtitle. I can't really translate properly, I guess.
It's okay.
This is the idea. A story of perfume's story, and written by Johan Servi. So Johan Servi is one of the writers writing in NEZ in the beginning, and also on the website for almost 10 years, I guess. So he had written all these articles in NEZ that we will gather in one book, and we will add some interviews. So we'll have people from fragrance houses. We'll have also Frédéric Malle, for instance, in the book as an interview about the decade 2000. So this is the only book we'll have with only one author. That is.
So how do you select the topics in these periodicals, your main periodicals?
So
we have one coming out in November, December.
It's about perfume and design. So the connection between perfume and design. We've done one about art, but perfume and art. Now it's perfume and design. And among the topic is to think about the connection between perfume and design, and how can we maybe see the work of a perfumer as the work of a designer, in the company, designing products that will be sold in perfume shops, and working with a brief with a client and with some, as I said when I was talking about the evaluator, so some boundaries due to the market where it will be sold. Just not only with usually people say, yeah, it's an art, but maybe it's an art that isn't totally disconnected from the market, and it's designed and it's a goal and its aim and what it's done for. That just not someone waking up suddenly and saying, "Oh, I'm going to do a tuberose." Actually, usually someone has asked this person to do that. So this is one of the topic that will be dealt with in this dossier. And the dossier, usually it's Jeanne Doré, the chief editor. She notes her ideas, you see. Because obviously she sees and reads a lot of stuff that on the web, in books and stuff. As I said, when people send article proposal, sometimes we don't answer in the minute, but so we keep everything. And at some point she said, okay, maybe there is this topic that we could do something about that and create this main dossier first. But also it's not the whole content of the book of NEZ. Because in NEZ, if you take this dossier, as I said, it's just this. Here in this one, as I said, it was about the connection between taste and sense. It's only here, you see, just that. And for the rest, you have the general and usual sections. For instance, we have always about, I'm sorry, because I don't have an English one here, but it's also you can understand. Here we always have this raw material ingredients, natural ingredients reportage here. So this is more in connection with our partners or fragrance houses. And we're trying here in this section to deal with usual ingredients, cardamom, rose, tuberose, and in another section in the science, more scientific part, here we deal with the figuier, is maybe less iconic for the perfume industry. So I hope we'll have enough, material to go along this way. So this is
my favorite parts in the magazines are these. Obviously, you spoke about this. And then at the end, you have new fragrances and a little paragraph about each fragrance. So I really love these sections in your periodicals.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. So, and this is always a big question, because people want to know how these perfumes are selected.
Yeah, how?
We're getting paid a lot. No, not even that. The thing is, we publish every 6 months. Yeah, and there are lots of perfumes coming out. Every day, every hour.
Day.
Yeah. And so we only have 30 reviews here. So we receive lots of perfume. We ask to receive them, and brands also send them spontaneously to us. And for every issue, we have gathering, meetings with the writers, with some of the writers, and we have evaluation sessions of these perfumes. Actually,
so it's a team that evaluates all the fragrances.
The team. You have
multiple
the name
people.
Of the people at the beginning of this cahier perfume section, and Jeanne prepares everything. Everyone has the list, but they don't. It's folded, so they don't see the names of the perfumes, and then she sprays, and so everything on around at the table receives a blotter, and the discussion begins. And at some point, she reveals if if the writers haven't recognized it, because obviously sometimes they recognize the perfume, but not always. That's funny. Sometimes they think it's something and it's something else. So hence the importance, of the bottles and of the name and of everything. When you just have the blotter, you can, even if you're an expert, you can make mistakes and take and you can think, oh, that's it's like in wine, you can think, that's this perfume, I'm sure, and no, it isn't. And then everybody discusses about the perfume, and we're trying to. And so at that point, she says, okay, this is this perfume by this brand, and at some point, we try to get to a consensus. It's okay. So to decide. Are we going to talk about it? Are we going to say we like it, or we don't, or we're just in between? Or maybe we want to support this brand. So even if we are not big fan, but we like the brand, and maybe we love something or other creations, and so we want to highlight them a little bit. Or do we want to say we love this one, and when we decide that we are very big fan of the perfume, we have a kind of a podium. So the first three perfumes are the ones that have been the most liked, beloved perfume. But every time we try to have this discussion so that everyone is okay with the selection. So that's not just someone saying, okay, I want coming to the meeting saying, I want to talk about this because I love it, or because I know the creator maybe. But, and we're trying to have this to be as democratic as possible. So, but it's difficult to be, you can't be exhaustive, that there are only 30 perfumes we haven't explained. Niche and mainstream. So, because usually people think we are only niche. So no, we talk about everything.
You do, yeah.
When we write a negative review, and this is also another misunderstanding, we consider we don't have enough space and we have no interest in saying we don't like this perfume, this niche perfume. But if we don't like a mainstream one, and then we say it. That's why sometimes this is funny, because when I talk with people of the industry, they say, yeah, but when you don't like a perfume and when you write bad reviews, it's always about mainstream, but all that is in niche perfumery is not always good and interesting. And we totally agree with that. It's just that when you expose to advertisement, or when you go to Sephora and they come with the last designer perfume. So at some point, we consider we want to give an alternative and another point of view, because we know that at some times you will be, as a consumer, you will be confronted to this particular perfume. It's from, I don't know, Lancôme, Dior, Givenchy. So you will be confronted to it. So on the television, in the street, in a shop, if it's about a niche perfume, there are very few opportunities to discover them and to be confronted to advertisement or to go to a niche perfume shop. There are so few. So we decided, okay, don't talk and there are lots of perfume we don't really like, because even in niche, I mean. And actually, if we were to write a bad review about a niche perfume, I think that would be good publicity, because it's good. It's like advertising, sometimes it's better to write for the brand to have a bad reviews than to
There's
have
no bad publicity.
Yeah, that's right. And because people can disagree, or at some point they will say, okay, NEZ said it's very really bad perfume, so I want to try and to be sure, by myself, and maybe you will like it. But that was the choice. So not to, and we try to be as positive as possible. So that's not a place we want to, to destroy things that just
exactly.
Yeah.
So you also have some publications that come with perfumes. I've seen some. Like bottles of perfumes inside, like a magazine or a book, a limited?
Bottle of perfume. So help me here.
Some of your books or publications come with perfumes, aren't they?
Sorry.
Yeah, you have some, I think.
Yeah, in NEZ. So with NEZ.
NEZ, yeah.
Actually, since for 2 years, also to be totally transparent, but actually it's quite visible on the book. For 2 years, as I said, so it's very expensive to produce NEZ. At some point, actually to talk about numbers, it was about it cost maybe 100,000 euros to create just one issue in 3 languages.
Oh wow!
Just that. So that's a lot. And so we are totally independent. We have no fund or no investors or anything. So it was a little bit complicated. But so at the beginning, we were very, romantic. We said, okay, let's do a magazine about perfume, even if we don't have money. And we will maybe sell some advertisement, but no, it's not enough. And so, we think NEZ is very central in this perfume. So at our level, humble level, but we are very central in the industry, and it was very beneficial for fragrance houses, especially because maybe there are no media, maybe perfumer and flavorist for those who know this media, online media, we talk about there are no other media talking about so much about fragrance houses like IFF, Symrise, Firmenich, Man, Givaudan, and all. And they were among the first also to come and buy advertisement. And at the beginning, I was very surprised because I thought, okay, but this is in bookshops. We sell that to general public, but they understood that also that we sell that to the people at Puig and at Coty. And L'Oreal, obviously. So all these big brands, who are their clients? They are the clients of the fragrance houses who create and produce the perfumes. So these people, they were very interested in working with us. And then we contacted some of them and said, okay, we'd like to have partnerships with you, with 4 fragrance houses, so we can stay independent and not be connected and dependent from one company. And we say we want to have this partnership for 2 years, and then after these 2 years we will see if you still want to be in this partnership. And then the first one to agree to do that with us were this company here. So you have IFF again, Firmenich, Symrise, and Man. And so Man is the French company. And so there are present with the logo and advertisement, and we co-create some of the content. So, and then I'm coming to your question.
Okay.
That's why I'm talking about that, because I want to also to explain because it's important for us and for me, so that we are talking with perfume lovers here, and they know the magazine, and they can wonder, yes, okay, but they're doing perfume reviews. They say they're independent, but at the same time, you have the logo here. But for instance, you won't find automatically here reviews of IFF or Firmenich or Man. And if you find some, they won't be necessarily good. So that's how we manage to find this balance between collaboration with the industry and staying also independent. Anyway, we had no choice, because then you disappear. So at some point you have to make some choices. And one of the content and one of the most interesting opportunities it gave us working with them, because the idea also when we work about content is so that to provide the readers with interesting content. This is always what we have in mind, even if we're working with a partner here. And so we've decided to create this collection, perfume collection. Perfume, it's like an experience called 1+1, and it's we make a perfumer and an artist someone from another field. We make them, we present and we gather them to create together a perfume called 1+1, and we manage all this encounter and the art direction of the perfume also. And so they meet, and together they create this perfume. And so we create one every 6 months.
Okay.
The first one. So I'm sorry because I wasn't really well prepared, but I guess you have them. No.
No, I don't have them. I've seen them, but I don't have them.
Okay. So
just you can talk about it, and I'll put a photo up if you send me photos later.
Yeah. Oh, I can. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And so the first one was with Maurice Roussel from Simrise, and with Alan Chan, very known designer, Hong Kongese designer, and they create together this perfume called Hong Kong Oolong. And afterwards, we've done with Julien Rasquinet from IFF and Eva Jospin, with a French artist, a perfume called Folia. And then with Marjane Satrapi, so sometimes people don't know her name, but she did Persepolis, the comics, because you are very
I've seen that movie.
Cultivated person. First, it was a comic book, which had a huge success in France, but not only in France, but 20 years ago. And then she directed the movie. It was about how she and her family they flew from Iran after the revolution. Yeah. And it was with the perfume has been created. It's called Ambre à Lèvres. It's like a lip amber for. It's like lipstick, amber lipstick or something like that.
Nice.
And she did it with Mathilde Bijawi from Man, the perfumer Mathilde Bijawi. And the last one was with Marissa Lamagne from Firmenich and Woodkid. So Woodkid is a musician, singer, musician in France. I don't know if you know him.
I know about him.
Yeah, because he's also a director, especially I say video clip director. I think he worked with Rihanna or something like that. And we do this collection, so this perfume together, that is available on our website in France, but also on the website on our US website and on Lucky Scent. It's important for me to say each time that we work also for Lucky Scent, because they were the first one to say, okay, we can sell your magazine, even if we had no connection, we didn't know them, and I contacted them and I say, okay. So this was one of the first point of sale for me in English. And also you have the perfume, and also you have, so this one was the one with Marjane Satrapi, for instance, and you have these 16 pages. Sorry, it was not just because it's not in
the other way around.
Yeah, it's the other way around. So here, so it was sorry, Rouge à Lèvres lipstick, and this is her, at our office. So this is the first encounter with a perfumer, and she was discovering some scents. And then after we had this discussion, and we tried to narrow down the possibilities. And then the perfumer, she does, after this first encounter, she does some tries. And then Marjane went to Man in Paris, to their offices. And they discussed the first creation of Mathilde Bijawi, and then they went to a workshop of the place she works, where Marjane works, and then this discussion leads to the creation of the perfume. And then you have 16 pages documenting the whole encounter and the whole creation, and we follow them and take the picture, and an author is writing about the encounter. And now, but just in French for the first time, so in a few days, so in October, November, we are going to publish a first podcast. That will be the first podcast with Woodkid, because we followed each encounter, we recorded them, and then after 10 hours of discussion, and we've managed to shorten it to 45 minutes of a podcast. It's not an interview. It's just really the discussion. You have the recorder that is on the table between Woodkid and Marie Salamagne, and they're talking and exchanging about the creation, and you can follow them on the path of creation. But so this one is only in French. And the next one is with Annick. So it will be available in December.
Okay.
In the US, for instance, but also in France. So it's with Annick Ménardeau from Simrise and Angelin Prejlocage, who is a very known French choreographer. So it's
okay.
When you know a little bit about dance, he's very known.
All right.
So this is this collection.
So they're available for sale on the website.
Yeah. I think it's
individually.
It's only 15 milliliters, and it's $35. And if you buy, so you can buy. You have a package. I don't remember in dollars. You have a package when you can buy, where you can buy together the book and the magazine. The book and the magazine and the perfume. Yeah. And if you buy only the perfume, you receive the 16 pages. As a standalone small kind of a leaflet, because it's a whole, so it goes together. This is the whole experience. So, and even for us, we don't, and so we have this partnership with one of the fragrance houses, and also with Verescence. They give us the bottles. So we don't really do any money. So we don't really make any money with that. Because it's a limited edition. So we have about 500 that have.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, 500. We give some to the creator, some to our partners, but then there are only 500 left to sell.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, that's a nice project. We still have from the 2, 3, and 4. Just the first is out of stock. It was with Maurice Roussel, but I'm pretty sure we'll reissue some bottles sometime because everyone loves it. This one it was a huge success.
Okay.
So yeah,
he's a great perfumer.
Yeah, also, and we're so each perfume, because we're trying to have each perfume is very interesting for itself. We try to have this original. So we try not to be original enough and to be interesting. We don't want to produce another perfume because there are 2,000 at least per year. So this is more for the experience, and we try to have a nice scent also. And I think we've managed that. But so you I'm surprised you haven't got them yet.
Yeah, I don't know where to. I think I saw them at Tiger Lily, but that I haven't really. I mean, I don't know. Can you sample them before you test them out, or do they have testers?
It's only 15. No,
yeah,
not
okay.
Really. We said, I think some people, I guess, buy also like a collector. You see, and so we think so. No, we hope that just by reading you want to be part of the experience, you see.
Yeah.
But no,
they're so inexpensive though, it sounds like. $35 is pretty inexpensive.
Yeah, we try to. And it's always a little more expensive in the US than in France, because so we have to higher a little bit the price because of the shipping cost. I mean, when we sell to our retailers in the US. So that's why maybe sometimes people say, okay, it's more expensive in the US. Why is that? But so we are small companies, and when we send books, and this is a pound, half a kilo. And so, and it's only 20. So in France, it's only 20 euros. So in the US, I think it's 20.
26, 27, something like that.
I'm not sure anymore, 25 or 29, I'm not sure.
Oh.
But so that the retailer and the distributor make a little bit of a margin, and you have to higher the price because of the shipping costs, so because it's so expensive, really expensive. And at that, and we can't produce enough books to be directly printed in the US, because it would be very expensive.
Yeah.
And we sell more and more also in Australia. We are working with a perfume distributor and perfume shops.
Yeah.
Perfume shop, which is I never know how to say that. LKNU.
I don't know them.
LKNU.
Never been there.
And so we have them. We have in Europe. We have a scented niche in Hong Kong. We have one in Bali also. And we have a contact. We've been contacted recently by a perfume shop in Vietnam. So that's very nice to see more and more people from all over the world wanted to sell NEZ.
Nice.
So it's always complicated for us because that's a one-shot thing. You have to, work with one person on the other end or side or end, I don't know, of the world, and send books. But we are very happy just to be able to say, okay, we're also there in Vietnam, so that's very, very nice. So,
nice.
And the question that follows usually is, no, we don't have a digital issue yet, but we are working on it when we'll have time. We think for the moment we obviously we prefer, and we are very.
I like these.
Yes, but in some countries it's very complicated to get the books, and I think the more readers you have on the digital, also the more readers you'll have on the print. So I don't think it's really a competition between both. But until now we haven't had enough time to do that. We don't have enough time for all the projects that we want to achieve. Sadly.
Cool. All right. Lots of info. Thank you. I was going to say, what do you see happening in the future? I know you've answered a couple of things like the digital versions and some of your issues coming out and things like that. Anything else?
We want, there are lots of things. We have a new partner, but that's very, very new. But we want to do something about Africa. So we don't know exactly what, but we'd like to do something about that. Also Africa, and yes, because there are lots of raw materials coming from there. We are very interested in what the market is, because no one is really talking about that. So we think that would be very interesting, maybe to have a publication about Africa, maybe a special NEZ Africa, you never know. We are working also for China, working with an agency there a French agency called 100 Degrés. And together we are working on creating this kind of brand called Middle Notes by NEZ and 100 Degrés. And first of all, they began to recorded videos of niche perfume brands in China. And we will enrich and create this kind of a small video program, and we will, on our side, we will enrich this video with a motion video explaining concepts of the perfume industry. I mean, if they are working with interviewing someone with a perfume brand who has done lots of perfume with lavender, for instance, maybe we do a short motion video explaining, giving some information about lavender. And so the idea here is or maybe about history of perfume, or maybe what is a perfumer, what does a perfumer. Everything you find in the big book of perfume, we could do short videos that could explain an idea of something in the industry. And so the idea is also to accompany the same way we did here in France, so to work about this olfactory, to raise olfactory awareness. And why not in China? Because China is an exploding market. Everyone in industry is talking about China, is obsessed with China, but it's always the same thing. you have, on the one hand, you have the product you sell, and on the other hand, people want to know more. You know, the Chinese people, for instance, they went at some time during some time they went to France, and they bought Bordeaux, the wine. You know, but now they want to know more about what the wine, and to really to acquire a real culture about wine, and not just buy a brand, chateau, something. And we think it is the same with perfume, and especially with the perfume. So some people buying more and more perfumes, niche perfumes, especially, and there are more and more brands, niche perfume brands in China. And this kind of people, they are very, very eager to know more and to discover more. So that's what we are trying to do with them. We're working also a lot with a website called, I've sent you the email previously, the Sentry.com, .co, not .com, .co. Sentry it's a mix between scent and tree, with only one T in the middle.
Yeah.
So, and Sentry.co is a website about raw material. For the time being, it's mainly a classification of raw material, and it takes the shape of a tree, hence the name Sentry.
Yeah.
And then you can click and zoom like on Google Map and go, and you have all these perfumes families, and then you can click and zoom, and you go until you access to the ingredient card, where you get lots of informations about the ingredients. And we want to make it a kind of a place where you will find lots of information about raw material. And when at some point you will be able to create your own account and maybe takes notes, it will help lots of people. So it's more professional. It's kind of a B2B. It's more B2B. That's what we do usually, because it's really intended to the people working in the industry, and lots of people visiting the website and using it until now are very young people, under 30, lots of students. They go there to find information, but at some point you can imagine to connect and to have even forum and to create your own tree according to what you know, what you've discovered, what you've learned.
Sounds nice.
So we have lots of lots of expectations with this website. We're very excited about all what we can do with this Sentry. And I feel like I'm forgetting lots of stuff, but these are the main. And we are going to publish. We are also in discussion. This is very new with us, with authors who want to publish their book with us, because usually the book we publish, these are books that we wanted to do. We've decided to create and to publish. But the same as we said about the articles that people sent to us, hoping to be published in NEZ, more and more people are sending whole text, all books, and they'd like us to publish them. So we are small. That's complicated because we can't really afford, to publish a book. If we try to reach a break even, to be even, to have finance the book even before we launch it, because it's too expensive. But now we are mature enough, and we have some experience and a nice catalog, I hope, and
lots of experience.
We can afford, if we are clever and if we find ways to publish other books that are not issued from not mine.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Or mine. Okay, so that's mainly what we are doing. And if I sent you an email, if I think of something else.
All right.
I feel like I know. And it's already, what time is it? Almost 10 p.m. here. And
we spoke a lot.
yeah. I hope
it was very informative.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody's going to learn a lot about NEZ and your company
Yeah,
So,
I hope so. So they can also ask questions if they like. They can send emails. They can ask on Instagram. So we are very
on the video.
Yeah, exactly. If they ask questions here, I'll come to answer if I can.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So thank you so much for watching that very long video. I know I didn't say a lot in this video because I was waiting for Dominique to actually just give us all the details about their magazines and of course the books and things like that. As I said, I'm a big fan of these and I love buying them because I like to learn all about perfumery. If you like to learn all about perfumery, you definitely need to check out some of this stuff. They are sold at Lucky Scent. They're also sold at ZGO Perfumery here in San Francisco, and I think Tiger Lily Perfumery here in San Francisco sells them as well. So if you're in the States, definitely check out, your local niche perfume shop. They wouldn't be at places like Neiman's or Saks or Macy's and places like that. But definitely if you have a niche perfume shop near you, they should be there. As I said, here in San Francisco, they're at ZGO, and I believe Tiger Lily Perfumery also sells their publications. And then of course, Lucky Scent, you can place an order there. You should be able to place orders at all the stores I mentioned. So now on to the giveaway. NEZ is doing a giveaway of these two together. One of them is about tuberose and one of them is lavender. We discussed these books in the video. I hope you watched it. So one winner gets to win these two. And then we also have two more prizes, and these are worldwide prizes. De la Plante à la Essence. This is one book for one winner, a subscriber of this channel worldwide. And then the big book of perfumery is also the third prize for somebody to win. So what you should do is please let me know what 5 things you learned about watching this video, and let me know what prize you want to win. And then please put down your country. This is a worldwide giveaway. If you are participating from the USA, please put down your state. So good luck with this. I have a few more Zoom videos that I've shot that are going to be airing within the next 2, 3, 4 weeks. And I'm going to continue doing more of these. I know this one turned out to be very, very long. But of course, you get to learn a lot about, publications and things like that about perfumery. I know there's a lot of you out there that are digging into perfumery. Some of you are just casual wearers, but this video is definitely ones for you that are really into the idea of perfumery and discovering and learning and things like that. And as I said, these books are amazing. I actually bought one of them, and I can't remember which one, but the others were sent to me. But I don't get these sent to me all the time. I normally buy my copies of NEZ magazine at ZGO Perfumery here. And if you haven't sampled these or discovered these magazines yet, you definitely need to. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching today's very long video. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Do let me know if you're a fan of these NEZ magazines and or publications, books and everything. And let me know which you have that you've already, bought or sampled and, read and things like that. Other than that, thanks so much for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.